From the Langford Center studios at Newberry College, this is Wolves Weekly. I'm Al Della Chica. Well, the students are back on campus here at the college, and the spring sports are in full swing. And since spring is such a busy season for sports, we here at Wolves Weekly will do our best to give you a glimpse at all the different teams that are playing this semester. Up first is a report from Victor Hennian on the baseball and softball teams, and then Paul C. Fisher has a look at last week's acrobatics and tumbling meet.
Freshman right-hander Chasen Cole was brilliant in his second collegiate start, and Braden Egan earned the save as the Wolves beat Wayne State 4-2 in Game 2 to earn a split in Saturday's doubleheader after dropping the opener 11-9. Egan earned his first save by striking out 2 of the 4 batters he faced in the 7th inning to record the save. In the first game, Newberry made 4 uncharacteristic errors, which led to 3 unearned runs, but it was rallied late to nearly catch the Warriors. Trailing 11-6, heading into the bottom of the 9th, Keylor Osborne was hit by a pitch with bases loaded to score 1 run. Luke Compton singled in the 2nd run, and Mims grounded out to dive in a 3rd run to cut the deficit 11-9. The Wolves had runners on 2nd and 3rd with 1 out, but failed to push across another run. 9 players hit for the Wolves in the opener, with Mims and Wilson Wages each driving in a pair of runs. In the second game, Cole struck out 11 and walked none in 6 innings to improve 2-0 on the season after giving up a solo home run in the first and a run on 3 hits in the second. He scattered 3 hits over the next 4 innings and struck out 9 over the final 4 innings to earn the win. Newberry only picked up 2 hits in the nightcap, but took advantage of 6 walks, 3 hit batters, and 2 Wayne State errors to plate 4 runs. With the score tied at 2-2 in the 5th, the Wolves loaded the bases on 2 walks and a hit batter. Lance White drove in a run with the sacrifice fly, and Chandler Mims drove in the 4th run on a ground out. With the win, Newberry improved 6-1 and will look to the series victory Sunday afternoon with a single 9-inning game at noon at Smith Road Complex. In regards to softball, Newberry closed out Day 2 of the Embry-Riddle Tournament with a pair of competitive games but fell short in both. Losing 6-3 in Auburn-Montgomery and 2-1 in Florida Tech, Taylor Palfrey and Samantha Clark led the offensive efforts, while Lex Glenmaker delivered a solid start in both Game 1 and Game 2. Despite the losses, the Wolves showed resilience against strong competition. In Game 1, Palfrey went 2 for 4, scoring a run and adding a stolen base. Bethany Pigg drove in a run with a key hit in the 4th inning. Newberry recorded 2 of their 3 RBIs with 2 outs, keeping pressure on Auburn-Montgomery's pitching staff. Despite the loss, Glenmaker pitched 4.0 innings and no earned runs and 3 strikeouts. The Wolves plated 3 runs between the 3rd and 4th innings, but couldn't complete the comeback. In the second game against Florida Tech, Glenmaker pitched 5.1 strong innings, allowing just 2 earned runs on 6 hits with a strikeout. The Wolves struck first with a run in the opening inning, but Florida Tech answered back in the second. Newberry managed just 4 hits, with Palfrey, Maddie Staples, Leah Evans, and Maddie Brown reaching base. The Panthers took the lead in the 6th inning, holding off Newberry's final push. Lindsey Foster pitches 1.2 great relief innings, holding Florida Tech to no hits. With the losses, Newberry falls 1-8 on the season and will look to regroup on the last day of the tournament, where they will face host Embry-Riddle once again at noon on Sunday, February 8th.
I got you, baby.
And with the wrap-up complete, one last thing we noted was that players would often hit this sign on their way into the game. I asked player Josh Watson, a business administration major, what it was for.
Man, this is a tradition we do here. Every day when we show up to the park, we're committing to these attributes on the board. Every day we slap the sign and we're ready to go.
Wednesday of last week was an eventful day. Not only was it National Women's and Sports Day, but it was also the first time that Newberry College hosted an acro and tumbling meet. Here to join us in the studio and discuss the team is head coach Janiyah Howell. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. We're excited to have you on.
I'm excited to be here.
So it was a big day. This is the inaugural team, and it was the first time that they ever held a meet. What exactly does that mean to you?
It's very special. No one can really say that they've been on Team 1, and no one can really say that they've really built a program in present day. So it's just very special to be a part of that and being a part of history, not only at Newberry, but within the sport itself.
That's so cool. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about yourself, kind of your background and what brought you to Newberry.
Yeah, so I grew up doing gymnastics, so I have a gymnastics background. Did a little bit of other sports here and there, but it never really stuck. As I started to get older, I started to get a little bit of burnout with gymnastics and couldn't really see myself going the collegiate route with that. But I always wanted to be an athlete in college. Athletics is in my blood. I've been doing it since I could walk. So acrobatics and tumbling was kind of that next step for me. And so I went to school at a small school in West Virginia, and then from there really got into thinking about coaching acrobatics and tumbling. Loved the sport way too much to give it up. So really how I came to Newberry was I was coaching at a previous school in South Carolina, and I was just looking for head coaching jobs. It's been a dream to start my own program, so really was just looking around, and Newberry kind of had that environment that I was really looking for. The people really sold it for me, so that's kind of how I ended up here.
Yeah, so in a way it was kind of your way out. It was your way to accomplish something bigger. How do you feel stepping into a head coaching role will help you provide that for other people as well?
Yeah, it's definitely very nerve-wracking at first, of course, especially with starting a program, but I do feel like I have a lot of experience and advice that I can definitely share with my athletes, especially with being a little bit closer in age with them. So I like to tell them I'm glorified big sister. There are a lot of things that they're going through right now that I went through not too long ago. So I definitely do like to have, that close personal relationship with them and making sure that they know that their experiences are something I can definitely help them out with.
Tell us a little bit about the first meet. What were some of the key takeaways you think? Things that you all did well, things that could be improved on? It was just the first one, right?
Yeah. I would definitely say we had a lot of pre-meet jitters. I know I was feeling it, they were feeling it. But I definitely do think a lot of our takeaways were just their confidence out there. They were very worried the couple days before. They were like, Coach, I don't know if we can do this. And I was like, I think you guys can. You just have to go out there and focus and be confident. So I think our confidence really took off this meet. They competed in things that they were having trouble with just the day before, and so I really think our acro events, our compulsory events, those were very clean, and they definitely looked like a different team out there.
Okay, I understand that. What are some of the ways that you feel the Newberry community can best support you all in your first year?
I would say keep showing up, keep supporting us, keep being advocates for acrobatics and tumbling in general. I think, just making sure that, our team feels like they have the support from the campus and the school is definitely something that will keep growing our program in general.
I love that. Coach, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for what you do on campus and for your athletes. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
We've been discussing a lot about the new acro and tumbling team. They had their first meet on Wednesday. If you want to learn more about their schedule or see any more of their competitions, you can find out more at newberrywolves.com. Wolves Weekly will be back in just a moment.
Where did the time go? I don't know how I got here.
You've done the hard part. You quit smoking. Now do the easy part and get scanned for lung cancer. If you smoked, you may still be at risk, but early detection could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
My dad was a farmer. The guy was bigger than life. He wasn't someone that liked to show his emotion or liked to show when he was struggling, but we all struggle. I want to show emotion to my kids. It's something that brings me so much joy, and I want them to see me working through things. Allow your kids to know that it's okay to struggle, that even dad doesn't know the answer sometimes, but we're gonna figure it out together.
Welcome back to Wolves Weekly. I'm Paul C. Fisher, and I hope you're having a great day. Here to join us in the studio is a very, very special guest. Here on this week's episode is the Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. Beth Hinga. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you today?
So good, and we're really excited to have you on today.
Well, thank you. I'm very excited to be here.
Yes, so let's get started by talking a little bit kind of about you and your background. You have almost 30 years of experience in leadership in the education realm. But what exactly brought you to Newberry and here in the Vice President seat?
So I was at a point in my career where I was really interested in moving up into a vice presidency, and I was looking for a smaller school in the South, and I was interested in finding a school in a very diverse environment. My husband is from Kenya, and my 2 kids are adopted from Ethiopia. So we felt a little bit out of place in Nebraska, where there was not a very diverse environment. So that was something that was very important to me. And Newberry's commitment to diversity here on campus really caught my attention.
That makes a ton of sense and definitely kind of helped you stay here, right?
Yes.
But previously, you had more of a background in science and in geology, actually.
I did.
What kind of brought that about?
So when I was a kid, Mount St. Helens erupted in the state of Washington. And so that caught my attention immediately when I was a child. I have family that lives out in that area, and so my grandfather brought me volcanic ash, and my aunts and uncles would send newspaper articles, and that just really hooked me on the field of geology. So I was one of those rare students who went into college knowing exactly what I wanted to do. I had been telling people I was going to study volcanoes since I was 8 years old, and I actually ended up doing it. So I was able to do some research as an undergraduate on an old volcano in Colorado. And then when I graduated with my bachelor's degree, I was able to get an internship at the Hawaiian Volcano Observatory. And beyond that, I kept up those relationships with the Volcano Observatory, and when it came time to do my doctoral work, I did my dissertation in Hawaii with the active volcano Kilauea.
Oh my goodness, that's actually really cool.
It was fun.
Inspiring too, showing that as soon as you put your mind to something, even from the little age, you can still make it happen.
Exactly.
How do you think that has helped kind of shape your career now and where you are today?
I think it really gave me a sense that I could do whatever I set my mind to. And so it's given me a lot of a sense of perseverance, I think. And just when I'm motivated to do something, I just don't feel like I can stop until I get it done. So.
Wow, yeah. And so you were also one of the editors, I believe, on one of the Bill Nye episodes.
I was.
Explain that one for me.
Yes.
How'd that come about?
So I wrote a book that was published in 2015 called Ring of Fire. And it was actually kind of a reference book for high schools and colleges that had a number of different entries about different volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, and tsunamis around the Pacific Rim. And the showrunner for Bill Nye's series The End Is Nigh, which was about natural disasters, found that book, and then he contacted me and asked if I would be willing to help out with their Ring of Fire episode for that series.
That's actually so cool.
It was. Unfortunately, I didn't get to meet Bill Nye, but I could see during the filming, when they would send me clips, I could see where he was incorporating my words and my activities that I had suggested. So that was exciting.
So a great resume builder, truly, a great thing to be able to talk about.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to any students right now who might be wanting to pursue geology and might be hesitant about it?
Well, I think that it's one of those fields that really needs a lot of good people right now, because geology really is the study of the earth. And so there are a lot of things going on with our planet right now that the planet could use some help. So climate change and water pollution and those kinds of things are also geology. And so I think that if people are interested in helping the earth and in helping people understand the earth, that's exactly the right field to go into. And don't let anybody tell you that it's not a great field, because it is.
I love the passion that you have for it. I love how you're just willing to advocate for it. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for being here on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Truly appreciate it. Thank you all for watching as well. Wolves Weekly will be back in just a moment.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
Okay.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
NCTV, Newberry.
The life of a student athlete is already busy, not only going to classes, but also going to workouts, practices, and games. That's enough of a handful when the games are at home, but what is it like when the games are on the road? Correspondent Alexa Gambarino traveled to Milledgeville, Georgia with the women's basketball team for a game against Georgia College. And here's what she found out.
Have you ever wondered what happens before athletes step onto the court? The travels, the warm-ups, the mental preparation, all crucial elements that contribute to their success. We joined the women's basketball team on the trip to Georgia, offering a behind-the-scenes look at their journey and giving you a first-hand glimpse into their experience before a big match.
Usually on the bus rides, I'll talk with my teammates and we'll laugh and joke and play. And if I'm not doing that, then I'll sleep.
Listen to music, not much really. I'm not gonna lie, I sleep the whole way. Like, yeah, you'll actually catch me knocked out most of the ride, but for this, I'll be awake.
Yes, so I usually like to get my nails done before the game, and they're not done right now, so I'm a little nervous. But other than that, I like to do like skincare routine, like just kind of pamper myself before the games, and yeah, make my hair really cute and whatnot.
Like right before the game, like 15 minutes before the game, I usually go in and brush my teeth and wash my face, like right before the game.
I try to say I don't, but I usually just do my hair the same way, and I actually realized I forgot my bow today, so who knows.
I really like to wear Under Armour sports bra and undershorts, so yeah, wearing Under Armour.
In practice, we do like a lot of chants, like somebody could sneeze and we'll just start chanting, bless you, bless you. But just like, I would say the favorite memory is just like all the different personalities and characters. Like, we are all very silly, so we just chant random things and cheer for everything that we do.
I would say either Lake Day. We had a Lake Day this summer with the team, or this fall when we got here, and that was really fun. Or our first win against North Greenville, because it was Coach Walker's first win as a head coach.
My favorite memory of the season was last weekend when we got our first dub, and it was Coach Walker's first win as a head coach. So that was really exciting. We like threw water in the locker room and everything. It was nice.
My favorite memory so far is getting our first win with the team, especially because there's a lot of new girls come in and new coaching staff. So that was always fun.
After talking to the Wolves, the team arrives at their destination and heads straight to the locker rooms to get ready. The Wolves warm up and have a good time before the match, as key part of their routine. After the warm-ups, the Wolves are ready to play. At all times, the Wolves support each other with the best attitude, inside and outside of the court. After a competitive match, the Wolves pack up and head back home. It was a long, successful day for the women's basketball team. Alexa Gambarino, NCTV.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
It's something about having that piece of paper. Some people think that's worth more than my skills.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper.
You just gotta be so good they can't ignore you.
It's the way my mind works. I have a very mechanical brain.
Analytics and empathy. That's how I've gained clients.
I am more.
I'm more than who I am on paper.
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Thanks for hearing me out, bro.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Welcome back to Wolves Weekly. I am Alexa Gamborino with Victoria Kennedy. And now, let's get to the scoreboard and get you caught up with all the action that took place over the past week. The Newberry Soft team got started a week and a half ago against Columbus State on the road, where the Wolves split the Saturday doubleheader before dropping the third and rubber game on Sunday. They then came back to the Berry to their home opener last Wednesday, playing a doubleheader against USC Aiken, where unfortunately the Wolves were swept in both games. And finally, the team was off to Daytona Beach, Florida, this past weekend, where they competed in the Embry-Riddle tournament against 3 other teams. Newberry put up a fight but came away empty-handed on the opening day, failing 6-2 to Embry-Riddle and a 6-3 to Florida Tech. It was not that much better one day, too, as the Wolves dropped both games against Auburn Montgomery and Florida Tech once again. And on the final day, the Wolves dropped their 7th game in a row to Embry-Riddle to round out the tournament. That leaves the Wolves with a slow 1-9 to start the season. They will face UNC Pembroke on February 13th in a doubleheader to try and get back on track.
In baseball news, the Wolves are off to a really strong start under new head coach Jay Snyder after sweeping a 3-game series against the Barton Bulldogs of North Carolina to open up their season. After that, they came back home last Tuesday for their home opener against Emmanuel University, dominating the Lions 16-6 to push the record to 4-0. This past weekend, the Wolves stayed at home and hosted a 4-game set against Wayne State, where the team split the games 2-2. The Wolves now sit at 6-2 on the season and will take on Tusculum Pioneers in a 3-game series set this weekend.
The Newberry men's basketball team secured a hard-fought road win last Wednesday, defeating the Wingate Bulldogs 75-72, behind 24 points from DeVario Shepard. The Wolves then stayed on the road to play Carson Newman on Saturday in Tennessee. In a score first of a game, the Wolves' DeVario Shepard once again dominated the shooting, scoring 32 points and adding in 11 rebounds, but it was all for naught. The Eagles outlasted the Wolves, taking the win 111-104.
And staying in Tennessee, the Wolves rounded out the weekend in a matchup against the Lincoln Memorial Rail Splitters, where it was close kind of until the final 3 minutes, where Newberry did not score again, while LMU finished out the game on an 8-0 run to win it 75-54. The loss drops the team to 10-13 on the season. They will host UVA Wise this Saturday at Eliezer Arena at 4 p.m.
On the women's side, the troubles continue as Newberry lost against Wingate last week, 60-40, and then dropped the contest against Carson Newman on Saturday, 88-51. With the loss, the Wolves have now dropped 11 games in a row and will look to stop the streak this Saturday with a home game against UVA Wise. Newberry's record now sits at 5-18 overall.
And let's take a look now at men's lacrosse. The season began right here at home on Friday night at historic Setzler Field, but the excitement of the new season was dimmed a little bit as the Wolves fought to a 12-10 loss against Lewis University. And on Saturday, they hosted the University of Indianapolis, but ultimately fell 14-6 to start the new campaign 0-2. They will next take to the field on February 22nd to take on the Trojans of the University of Mount Olive.
For the women's lacrosse team, they also started their season this past Saturday at home, where they crushed Emory and Henry by the score of 21-0. They will be in action against North Greenville University this week and against Barton College on Saturday. The Wolves are starting the season with a 4-game homestand and are hoping to take advantage of the schedule.
And finally on the scoreboard, the Newberry tennis teams were in action this past Saturday against Francis Marion University, where the women's team came out with the win 6-1, while the men's team lost 5-2. And don't forget, you can find out more about Newberry College Athletics at newberrywolves.com. There you can find all of the latest news, scores across all of the Newberry College teams, see complete schedules, get tickets, and order official team merchandise. All this and more is available wherever you are and anytime you want it at newberrywolves.com.
Victoria, we're very happy that you're here in Wolves Weekly. You're an alumni, you're a very successful alumni that came from Newberry. So we want to know, what are those things that Newberry taught you so you get where you are right now?
Oh, it's wonderful being back at Newberry College for a couple of days this week and spend some time with you guys here in the communications department at Langford Center. Newberry College prepared me for the real world just by giving me the wings to fly and giving me confidence, and it's a testament to all of the wonderful professors and the atmosphere here on campus that allows you to grow and learn your independence and get a really good solid foundation in the field that you're studying and what you want to do in the future.
That's amazing. We definitely receive a lot of help in here, and for example, Wolves Weekly gives us that hands-on experience for us to prepare.
Exactly, and that's so important. It gives you that experience and that knowledge that other people who might be applying for those same jobs after college may not have. So it's a huge benefit.
Definitely. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me. And that's all for this week's edition of Wolves Weekly. I'm Victoria Kennedy.
And I'm Alexa Gamborino. Join us next time for more Wolves Weekly.
When you can't get to the game, Wolves Weekly gets all of the excitement of the game to you. Available on Flow Sports and produced by NCTV Newberry.